Hello everyone, I'm Dr. Brian Bowman here in Arlington, Virginia, enjoying a stay with Toru Miura, who is visiting with us after the International Tuba Euphonium Conference last week at Arizona State University in Arizona, United States of America. It was a very interesting conference. It has been many years since we had a conference, since the last international conference was at the University of Iowa in 2018. So it's been four or 5 years since we've had a conference, so we're past overdue. This conference, though, was held very excitingly in Arizona. Deanna Svoboda, the tuba euphonium teacher there, really did a wonderful job of organizing and putting everything together. The only problem was that so many things happened at the same time, you could not see everything. But there was a tremendous, wonderful participation of people from Japan at this conference. I had the opportunity to judge the finals of the Artist Euphonium competition, and all three of the finalists were from Japan. So first, second, and third place were all three from Japan, and they did a very good job performing at this competition. Also at this competition, I had the opportunity to play with a very fine professional euphonium player in Japan who several years ago studied with me at the University of North Texas, Mai Kokubo. And she had asked me to play a duet with her following her a solo presentation with the brass band at this conference on Thursday night. The duet that we played was Softly As I Leave You, a very famous duet for two euphoniums and brass band. And it was a wonderful opportunity to play with her on Thursday night concert, and she wore a beautiful Japanese dress, gown, and very typical. And the extra good thing that we had was the composer of her piece, Mr. Hoshina, came from Japan to conduct the brass band and on this piece that he wrote for this competition. And he is 87 years old, so he was wonderful to come and conduct and be here with us at the conference. So he conducted the piece that she played, the solo that she played, and also our duet. And it was a very gratifying experience to have a chance to play with a former student of mine who is now a very fine professional teacher and player in Japan. It was also great to see other people from Japan, of course, Toru Miura-san, my friend of over 50 years, where we first met in the early 70s and at the first conference in 1973 at Indiana University. It was a great time that we had there and every time since, because he has invited me to come to Japan many times, and it's been a wonderful pleasure to have this friendship over the years. I was also fortunate to meet other students that I had taught. There was one who is a member of the Origami Quartet, who is a very fine player now in Japan also, who came to UNT and studied with me also. Takahiro is his name, and he was all very active at this conference also. And there were many other Japanese players and students there, so it was very gratifying to see them. I had the opportunity to teach a couple of them lessons and to have the opportunity to spend time with them. It was a great opportunity to be together. There were also people from Spain, people from Brazil, and people from Colombia, as well as the United States and Canada. And so it was a great time to be together. I encourage you to attend these international conferences wherever they are held. It gives you a chance to make new contacts and new friends with euphonium and tuba players. And it will help you with your looking for new pieces of literature, new instruments to try out and to play, because there are many exhibits and many other things that make it very satisfying to be there. You know, the euphonium has been around for a long time, but it has really gained ground ever since the International Tuba Euphonium Organization began. It began as the Tubas Universal Brotherhood Association in the late 60s and 70s of the last century, and included the euphonium as a tenor tuba first and then euphonium. And ever since they first included us with the organization, we have been involved in the conferences and then involved in the commissions of new works that were written for the euphonium, and encouraged players to develop their skills. So in the last 50 years, there has been a great development in the numbers of literature that we have, also the improvement in the players. There are many, many fine young players now and teachers. And also there has been development of many instruments, different brands and other compensating instruments that didn't exist 50 years ago. So it's been a great change for us. We still have a challenge, however, because finding a full-time euphonium job is very difficult. Here in the United States, the only full-time performance jobs are with the United States military bands of the Army, the Air Force, the Marine Corps, and the Navy bands, which are here in Washington. The premier bands are here in Washington, D.C., and they are full-time playing euphonium jobs. Other jobs are at universities. We only have 2 really full-time euphonium-only teachers, then DeMondre Thurman at Indiana and David Childs at North Texas, the University of North Texas, where I taught for 18 years. And so we need to find more ways to encourage people to study euphonium, to play euphonium, and to find ways to make jobs for themselves. To do that, you have to be creative. You have to find a way. What could I do to create a performance opportunity for me? What kinds of extra things could I do? Could I learn to play some jazz or some popular music or other types of things? Or could I get involved with show business and other things, and so that I can have the euphonium become even more present, not just among euphonium players, but among the music world and above the general public, so they know a little more about this and would like to hear it more. You know, the euphonium is a wonderful instrument because it has such a beautiful tone quality. Usually people, when you say, I play the euphonium, they say, well, what is that? They don't know. But when they hear the euphonium and hear the sound, they fall in love with it and they like it. So we need to play more so people will hear it and know what it sounds like and be anxious to hear more of it than they are hearing now. That's the biggest job we have. And there's been a lot of activity in Japan. The level of euphonium playing from early years to now is amazing and is very good. And we need to do that not only in Japan, but throughout the whole world. So I encourage you, please keep following the 3 secrets of success. Practice, practice, practice. Always get prepared to play at any time, any place, anything, so that you can be a leader for the euphonium in your community. It's great to be here. It's great to be here with my dear friend Toru Mura, and I wish you all the very best in all that you are doing. Thank you very much.